Good morning, everybody. Orin J here with another War of the Visions video, and today's the day. It's time to do the War of the Visions 2022 All UR Unit Tier List video. This has been requested a lot, and it's taken me a while to do it. Plus, I had a little side track with life, but I'm finally back around to it. Look at this. Look at this. There are 99 UR units in Global War of the Visions right now. Here you see them, and here's where they're gonna go on this list. So let me describe how I'm gonna rank them. Instead of doing like S, A, B, C, D or whatever, that really doesn't mean much to me. I put a cost on the side. 110, 100, 90, 80, 70, and then the EX waiting room. Basically, I know there's no 110 cost units, but I think there's a couple units in this game that if I was being real, they're basically 110 costs. Like, I just think there's a couple units who are superior to the other units in the game. They go 110. A 100 cost unit, in my opinion, is like top of what a UR unit should be. 90 and 80, that's your like stock. That's where most, I think, UR units should be. 90 being like maybe top half, 80 being maybe bottom half, but really close to the center. You know, pretty good units. 70, in my mind, that's usable. And I don't think there's a UR unit in this game, by the way, that is not usable. If you've invested into a UR unit, if you've leveled them to 120, they will fit into a team. You can use them. But the ones I'm going to call 70 cost units, those are the ones I think are just weaker than the others, really need their teammates to carry them sometimes, or just have major shortcomings. Also, this is based mostly around auto PvP. That's my thing. It's what I like the most in this game. And manual PvP is a whole different animal, probably needs a whole different tier list, and I'm honestly not qualified to make that. So without further ado, let's go. Okay, first up, King Mont, main character in the game. The only one that I placed specially on this list, wanted to start with him since it's his game. He's a 100 cost unit in the game, and I think he's a 100 cost unit like justified. One of the best tanks in the game. Fire is growing in strength. That will help him out a lot. And he's a good splash unit. You can splash this guy into any team comp and you're set. Okay, I'm going to go fast. Next up, we've got Dwayne. I debated on Dwayne for a while, being either 90 or 100. I still think Dwayne's a 100 cost unit. He might be like right on that line. He might be like a 98 or something like that. But he's a 100 cost unit in the game. Dark is still pretty strong. AoE disable is broken. He has turn 1 hate. I like him a lot. He goes in the 100. Okay, next up, Aranea. Aranea, I'm going to drop into 80. I think she's good. She does a lot of damage. She's a spear unit. That's what she is. I'm going to put her just kind of right in the middle of the pack there at an 80 cost. Right there next to her is going to be Rob. Rob does a ton of damage. He's a really good evasion light unit. He needs a lot to get working, just like all evasion units do. But if you can get him working and get him online, perfectly fine. I'm going to slide him into the 80 cost. Winter Venera is next. Hurts me to put her in 70. I have hard forced using this girl a lot. She's kind of awkward. Like I feel like she's meant to sort of be a tank, but she kind of has a hard time doing that. So I'm just going to put her in 70. She's usable. I've used her all the time, but she is harder to use because, you know, she's Winter Venera. Okay, Garvel is next. And honestly, you guys, Garvel's going to go in the EX waiting room because, you know, he has 21 levels and upgraded skills coming his way, but he's already like here. At level 99, he's as good as a lot of other units in the game. But to be fair to him, I'm going to put him in the EX waiting room, and I will update this list when he gets his EX job. Maybe I'll just keep this list updated all the time as new units come out. That's fun. Raldor, also EX waiting room, although I'm pretty excited for him. And then Cecil. Man, oh man. Cecil, usable. I was actually really hyped when Final Fantasy VI, my God, my brain. When Cecil's rerun came out. Final Fantasy VI. Yeah, what am I doing? 4? Give me some water. Okay. When Cecil's rerun came out, I was really excited because I thought everybody was going to get him for free. I was going to showcase him a lot. Disappointed we didn't get him, but I still tried him and he's still usable, just hard to use. I think he's 70 tier right there next to Winter Venera. Now Kane, who got his EX at the same time, I'm going to slide Kane into 90. Courage, lots of damage, has like status effects mixed into his kit, slows really good for PvE. I like Kane a lot. He's going to go in that 90 tier, which I think is like, you know, upper half of UR, but not quite 100. Howlet, EX Waiting Room, Promptu. Now, Promptu, yes, Promptu's like low-key really, really good. I think a ton of people sleep on this unit. He has a ton of range, a ton of status effects. I think he's 90 cost. This might be one of my most controversial ones so far. If you have this guy and you've built him, I highly encourage you to give him a try. He's really good. Regular Stern is a 70, one of the oldest units in the game, easy to mitigate because he just doesn't like, he does a lot of damage in the right situation. The right situation is rarer for him than it is for somebody like Aranea, who's, you know, easier. And then even though Rob is a 100% slash unit, he also brings evasion. Both of those things I'm going to say are reasons they are better than Stern. He's a 70 coster in my opinion. Rain is next. I think Rain is a 90. Some people might disagree with this. Some people might think Rain is worse. I think Rain is still one of the premier magic tanks in the game. He does a lot of damage. He brings status effects. I like Rain a lot. I like Rain a lot. I think he's a 90. Rosa is next. I'm going to tag Rosa into that 80 category. I think she's overlooked by a lot of people. I think a lot of people think Rosa belongs down here. She does not. She brings good support to the team, nice mix of physical and magic damage. She's going to be in that 80 tier for me. And by the way, like, inside of the tiers, I'm not differentiating. Like, I'm not saying right here that Promptu is exactly one spot better than Rain. That's what I'm not doing. Like, there's 99 of these people. I'm just putting them in categories. Okay, Luartha is next, and Luartha doesn't have an EX job yet. Same with Elsie. We're waiting on those. Ruinstern. He's a 100 cost unit. I think he feels more like a 90 cost. So this time I'm going to deviate from what the game ranks him at. When he first came out, absolutely, I think he deserved that 100 cost status. I think he's still strong. I just don't think he's as strong as somebody like Dwayne or King Mont is right now. Ooh. Next up is Delita. He is waiting on that EX job, so he'll go there. Valentine's Day Salir is next. Guys, really, really good unit. Debated putting her in the 100 cost category. Energist is a banger of a job. I'm going to put her in the 90 cost, but man, she was close to bumping up to the 100, but she's really weak to magic, and I think that hurts her. Now, Setia is next. Setia, I have not had a chance to use yet. Like, I just pulled her. She just came out. So I'm going to put her in 100 because that's where the game put her. And I will adjust that as necessary as I do some videos for her. But for right now, I'll trust in what the game said. We'll see if that burns me. And I'll stick her in the 100. Gargus, he goes 70, good range, but just straight up magic damage. Doesn't offer a whole lot more than that. I've been slightly impressed by him a couple times in tournaments. Shout out to Starlet Francesca, but I'm going to drop him into 70. Okay, now, it's going to be rare that we have people that I'm going to rank 20 points above what the game calls them, but that's where I'm slapping Cloud. Cloud is going in the 110 cost category for me. He's a 90 cost unit in the game. I really think he's only a 90 cost unit because when he came out, there was a lot of people grumbling about how many 100 cost units there were. So I literally think they just changed his cost. I think he was supposed to be 100. He actually feels more like 110 to me. This guy can 1v3 in arena. He's insane. 110 cost for Cloud. Okay, Skahal's up next. Offers some good time mage supporting like Quicken. Don't sleep on that. He also has some good damage to back that up, throwing him into 80. Abara is next. Absolutely deserves her 100 cost category. I think of Cloud in her, Cloud is the slightly better lightning super carry right now, but Abara not that far behind in my opinion, and if she had 100% hit AoE, boom, I'd slide her up to 110. Okay, Lucia is next. I'm going to throw Lucia into 80. She does pretty good. You know, the maps can be kind of hard for her, but she's respectable damage, really good chainer. Don't even ask that, guys. This next one, Eileen, I wish, like in my heart, there she is. In my heart. But in reality, she can do her job, but it's hard for her to do her job, and she needs some love. So I'm going to put her down there in the 70 cost tier, right next to Oldoa. Oof. Okay, now Velric. I'm actually going to put Velric into the 90. I think there was a time when he was like pushing the 100, but it was because his best skill was bugged and like full healed him every time he did it. Like he has this EX upgrade Drain Rush, and he was like, he would go into a fight, take some damage, full heal himself. That's not the case anymore. The dude still hits like a monster truck. So I'm going to put him into 90. Auron, I think Auron is just one step below that. I'm going to throw Auron into 80. Frederica, absolutely a 90. Good AoE, good range. Lightning has good synergy for her. One of our oldest units, I believe maybe the first banner we ever got. This is a unit that has aged really, really well. For a release unit, yeah, or almost a release unit, she's hanging in there. Okay, next up, Zazan. He's 100 cost in the game. I think he's 100 cost on this tier list as well. All the ways of not dying built into his kit, does a lot of damage, good for chaining. He exemplifies, in my opinion, what the earth element is. Big damage bruisers who are really annoying to kill. That's Zazan. Okay, next up, Freyevia. Freyevia is going into the 90 cost tier list, in my opinion. Super annoying tank, by the way. She can heal herself, she can buff herself, she can gather aggro, and if you don't kill her, she will just heal over and over and over again and sustain out the fight while Ice's DPS units tee off on you or whoever she's with. So I think she's really strong. You don't even need to run a healer with her in a lot of situations. She has full life. Really good tank. I'm throwing her into 90. Miranda, I'm going to top Miranda into the 80 cost. Her EX was pretty good. She has really good range with her jamming thrust, and it's upgraded. That's pretty cool. Rafael, haven't used Rafael a ton yet. She feels like an 80 cost unit from what I've seen. Good little evasion on there. I'm going to put her right there. Jiza, man, Jiza, I'm going to put her in 70. Like, Jiza can absolutely one-shot somebody. And if you build a team built around Jiza one-punching someone, boom, there you go. But that's it. And it's single target, so she can do her job, but her job requires a lot of setup, in my opinion. She's going to go in the 70 tier, but again, 70 tier, these characters are usable. Okay, Winter Luartha. Guys, Winter Luartha it feels like a 100 cost unit to me. She has insane range, it's piercing damage, hits for AoE. I think she's one of the top tier DPS units in this game right now. And even though she's not a 100 cost, she feels like a 100 cost unit to me. I'm going to put her in that 100 cost category, up there with like Zazan. One of Wynn's best units by far. Ildira is next. I'm putting Ildira into 90. Her EX upgrade did wonders for her. Her new Kiraga, thing heals big time, instant cast nukes, lots of AoE, lots of healing, nice time manipulation with her limit break. I think she's really strong. I really like what her EX upgrade did there, putting her into the 90 cost. Okay, Tifa is next. Tifa, I'm going to put into 80. Wind Bruiser / Evader does good damage, but it works. Wind Evasion works. Wind Bruisers work. I just think there's better options in the game right now. However, it's not bad. Okay. Black Rose Helena, a 100 cost unit in the game. I'm going to put her into the 100 cost category on this tier list. There was a time when she was the best unit in this game. That time is not anymore, but I think she's still really dang good, so I'm going to put her into 100. Classy Glassy. Now, Classy Glassy is a 100 cost unit, but I think she's more like a 90 cost unit. I really like her. Let me say that. I think she's really good. And she just doesn't make the cut of like the rest of these units, in my opinion. Now, obviously, with Setia, I don't know yet, but Classy Glassy, I'm going to drop her into the 90 for now. Yeah. Okay, Winter Ramada, that's a 70. Again, lots of damage. Like the unit a lot, but kind of easy to tank, and it is more of a status effect person at this point, in my opinion. I'm going to throw her into 70. Okay, ready for another 110? There it is. Starlight Elena. Just like Cloud, there are a lot of times. I've watched a lot of 3v3 auto PvP in this game. These two units in this 110 cost are units that over and over again I have seen be 1-on-3 and just maybe not even take damage the rest of the time, clean up the 3 people they're against, GG, fight's over, they win. Starlight Elena's OP. She's really dang good. 110 cost all day. Boom, there we go. Okay, Killface next. Killface pretty good. I'm going to drop her into the 80 category. Right there next to her is going to be Camilo. Big shout out to Kiwi Stings, the Camilo stan out there. I slept on Camilo for a long time. Originally, I would have put him into 70, but thanks to people like Kiwi showing him off, I will drop him into the 80 cost. Whisper is a 70. I don't think a lot needs to be said there. Mashari, same place. Both usable, although Whisper's real hard to use. 70 costers. Swimsuit Ketone. I'm going to drop Swimsuit Ketone into the 80 category here. I need to test her myself, but from what I've seen, she seems to be like a decent damage mage who can, be a nice splash into a fire group. Minwoo's going to be an 80 for me as well. Really good supporter for fire. Borderline 90 coster in my opinion, but I'm going to drop her into the 80. Okay, Lamiga is next. Oh my gosh, I'm going to have to like shrink this a little bit, but we'll keep it rolling. Lamiga's next. I think Lamiga is also an 80 coster. He's hard to mitigate. Charlotte, I think, is a 100 coster. Now, she's not actually a 100 cost unit, but this girl can tank. I think she is just as good, if not better of a tank than King Mont, so I'm going to put her in the same category as him in that 100 cost area. Thancred, thank God I don't have to rank him yet. We'll just say waiting on EX. Skahal is going to be an 80 for me. Barrett, same thing. I'm going to drop Barrett. I'm going to be real. I like Barrett a lot, but if I'm being totally honest with you, Barrett feels like a 70 cost unit to me. His like turn 1 hate, you're trading away an entire support ability just for that, which feels bad. He doesn't like get anything else with it, so I am going to drop him into the 70 cost category. Okay, Lemure. Lemure is really good. Like, she doesn't do damage, but as a support, she has like AoE haste, she has quicken, you can build a lot of really fun comps around her. I think she's justifiably an 80 cost unit. Same with Ayaka, really good support, nice AoE healing. I really like her defense pin, plus lifesteal buff, so she's a solid 80 in my opinion. Jaden is justified in his 100 cost. He's going to go up there with these other, BAMPs. Do people say that anymore? Maybe not. We said that like when I was in high school, I think. Anyway, that's where Jaden's going. Nivlu with her EX is like an 80 now. Halloween Little Leela, I'm going to drop into the 90 category. If this chick had a little bit more survivability in her kit, she would easily be a 100 cost unit in my opinion. Her weakness is she's real squishy. So you can overcome that with builds, but again, that means like that's not the unit doing a thing. That's you creatively making the unit better. But she does insane damage. She's a great healer, has full life. She's 90 cost for sure. And by the way, she's like 70 cost in the game. So I'm putting her at like, I think they misranked her big time. Okay, Moore is next. I think Moore is probably right now an 80 cost unit. I would have ranked her a lot higher than this in the past. And again, all of these units here, this is not in a descending order. I'm saying she's in the 80 cost category. I'm not saying she's worse than like Nivlu. But Moore's really good unit. If you can find anti-magic groups, she can actually go out there and tear them up. So I'm going to drop her into the 80. Venera, solid. Dark evasion unit, still. Again, in like one of our OG units, she's held up pretty well. I'm going to drop her into the 80. Victoria, I'm torn on this one, guys. I'm really torn on this Victoria. I'm going to drop her into... She's better than these. She's better than them. I'm going to drop her into 80. The thing with Victoria, again, is she's really squishy. However, her limit break can be game-changing with that charm. She has insane range with her horizontal jump. Geez, you just have to be careful with her and dying. Like, she needs like a zombie TMR or something like that to hang into a fight. Lara Croft, I don't have a ton of experience with Lara Croft, but I am going to drop her into the 80 tier. From what I've seen, she's a legit UR unit. I think she holds her own just fine. She's probably better than a lot of the units in this tier, but, this is what I'm doing. Okay, next up, More the Merrier. Now, More the Merrier, not somebody I have a lot of experience with yet, but from what I've seen, she's really been strong in Arena and Guild Wars. One of our newest units in the game too, which usually means they're pretty strong. I'm going to drop her into the 90 cost category, and I need to readjust the size, so hold on just a second. Okay, turns out when you're doing 99 units, it takes a little bit of time. Okay, next up, we've got Noctis, and watch, I'm immediately gonna mess up my resizing. Okay, there we go. Noctis goes into the 80 category. Really good AoE buffer with his spirit buff, does a decent amount of damage, really fun kind of mixed hybrid like support slash DPS unit. I'll throw him into the 80 and the tier list is now barely fitting on the screen even after being resized. Let's keep it rolling. Next up is Joom. Joom, oh, nope, not there. Joom is absolutely the 100 cost unit. This is what they have her pegged for in the game. She's one of those tanks with like King Mont, Charlotte, and her, in my opinion, that are just insanely good. Definitely worthy of having that 100 cost, so I'm going to put her into the 100 cost area. Oberon is next. He's a 100 cost unit in the game. I think he's justified as being there. One of the top Earth units that we have. He has a shield he can give himself for 3 turns, or for 3 hits that is both magic and physical. He does a ton of damage. Really like Oberon a lot. He can solo carry some Earth teams for you. King Elda is next. King Elda going to drop into that 70 category, and at this point, the tier list is just too big for the screen. We'll just scroll around when we need to. But King Elda's going to go into the 70 cost. There's some people who really like him. He's not absolutely terrible. He's just not the best. So we're going to put him in 70. Next up, Agrius. Man, I wish she had her EX job. She'll go there. Moraga. I'm going to put Moraga into the 80 cost area. And you can see how this 80-90 cost area is really collecting a lot of people. And that's what I think it's supposed to. This is your basic, like, standard cost for UR units. These are the ones that I think are the strongest. These are really close, and these are the weaker ones. So there you go. Farm. Farm, you guys. Don't sleep on farm. If this tier list was PvE only, man, farm's like 120 cost. She's insane for PvE. But this is mostly an auto PvP tier list. So that's mostly what I'm thinking of here. Farm, in my opinion, she's probably in this like 80 to 90 cost area. I don't have a ton of experience with her yet, but from what I've seen, she's done insanely good. So I am going to drop her into the 90 for now. Engelbert. Oh man. Engelbert's a 90. Engelbert. Oh man. He is, if I was saying that King Mont, Charlotte, and Joom were like the best 3 tanks in the game, Engelbert, in my opinion, would be next. And like Engelbert Fryevia would be very, very close to joining that. Engelbert's big weakness, the thing that keeps him from being a 100 coster, like in my heart, is magic. He gets trucked by magic, but he's a dang good unit. 90 cost. Okay, next up is Lucio. To be fair to Lucio, I'm just going to put him in the EX waiting room for now. He's not done. He's not done. We have not got all his stuff yet. I will give him an actual grade when we have all that stuff. Yurma, going to drop her into the 70. Aerith, I'm going to drop into 80. Now, Aerith was a tough one for me. She can do a whole lot of stuff, and she does it well, but I don't think she's as good as a lot of these units in the 90 cost area, so I'm going to drop her into the 80 cost area. Okay, Orlando, waiting on that EX job. 9S, 80 cost. Good damage, good support, absolutely worthy of being a UR unit. I just think he's about right there. Okay, Yuna. I'm going to put Yuna into 90. Now, there would be a time in this game for sure when I think Yuna would have been a 100 cost unit. However, she's aged just fine, but she has not aged as OP as she was when she came out. So I think she's right here in this 90 cost area these days, and that's where I'll have her hang out. Gilgamesh. I'm putting Gilgamesh into the 90. He's a 100 cost unit in game. He's one of our first 100 cost units. Thancred. Oh man, whoa, what was that? That was awkward. But he's one of our first 100 cost units. He can do a lot. He can do a lot. Sometimes I think he can do a little too much. It's weird that he has like magic in there. But his time mage is really good. Kotetsu plus is insane. So I think he's really good. I'll throw him into the 90 cost area. Glaciella, Glassy, regular Glaciella is next. I think she's an 80. She can still do the carrying for you if you need her to, so I'll throw her right there. Luel, I think Luel's an 80. Veln, okay. I'm put Veln into 70. She's not bad. A lot of people think Veln is bad, and if I was actually doing this list like in an order, I would put her right here. She's like pushing into that 80 cost area, but she's still pretty good. I'm going to put her right there. Halloween Ryu, I think, is an 80. He does a lot of damage. He's really kind of hard to tank, honestly. Hazard Slash hits really hard. Drain Evocation gives him magic and slashing. He just doesn't feel as good as he once did, in my opinion. So I'm going to put him into 80. He's still really not bad at all. Varouche. Do not sleep on this man. This guy is a destroyer of teams, a really strong wind unit. Varouche is going into the 90 cost category for me. Titus, I'm going to drop Titus into 80. Man, there was a time when I'd have put Titus higher than this. And again, if this list was like really heavily a PvE tier list, Titus would have been in the 90 or 100. But in PvP, he kind of just gets dominated a little bit these days. Golbez, strong mage. I'll throw him into 90. His shield is really nice. He brings a lot of damage. I think he's limited on maps. I think he needs a really short map to take advantage of his like 3-turn steroid. But if you can find that, he's really strong. I'll put him into 90 for now. Warrior of Light. Okay, Warrior of Light. I'll put Warrior of Light in 90. There was a time this guy was the best tank in the game. I still think he's a really good tank. I think he's one of the top 5 or 6 tanks in the game, but I don't think he's as good as like Charlotte or Joom or King Mont in my opinion. So I'll throw him into 90. Boom, there we go. Pumpkin Spice Frederica. I don't have a ton of experience with her. I'm going to put her into the 80 cost category. Maybe you guys can leave me some comments or send me some videos. Convince me that I'm wrong here. I just don't see her that much. Summer Kilfei, I think she's a 80. I'm putting Summer Kilfei into 80 as well. Really good slashing unit. Does a lot of damage. Like her a lot. Summer Lilith, I'll put her into 80. Medina, throw her into 70. The original, you guys. Medina, the OG reroll for this unit waifu tier list was everybody reroll for Medina. I only had to reroll once, by the way. I got her on my first try. That was awesome. But she's going there. Let's see. Waiting on Sakura's EX. Winter Ma Cherie. Pretty dang strong unit. I'm going to throw her into the 80. There was a time I'd have probably considered putting her in the 70. I thought she was kind of weird. She's actually pretty dang strong. I'll throw her into 80. Kitone. Kitone's going to be an 80 for me as well. Drain Force, really strong. Really good Earth Evasion unit. She's legit. She gets into the 80. Rachis here. I don't really know. She feels like a 90 coster to me. Her job is really good, but the no limit break kind of hurts her a little bit, I think. So I don't think she's going to be as good as a Varouche, who I put in this category, so I'll drop her down 1 from him. But again, I have not had a ton of time to test her yet. She's new, so I'm going to throw her into 80 for now. Summer Elsie, I'm going to put into 80. Same with Winter Glaciella, both 80 costers in my opinion. Laswell, I'll drop Laswell. Laswell's a tougher one for me. I'll put him into 80. He has aged really well. His shield still blocks all damage, and he still does a lot of damage. He's a good unit. I'll throw him into the 80 cost. 2B, 80. I want to put her next to Tifa. Where's Tifa? There's Tifa. Here's 2B. These two were tied together a lot of times as kind of the, the wind evasion duo, and it works. It does work. You can also run them as bruisers, which might be better. I still don't think they're as good as these units up here. And then Ramza, EX waiting room. So here we go. Let's look at this real quick and let me see how I feel about what I did, because that was 99 units in like 30 minutes. So here we go. I think Cloud and Starlight Elena are just insane. So I do like this. I think I nailed that. Let's see. I like this. If I was gonna change anything on here, I don't know enough about Setia yet. I think Dwayne might be moved downable. Oberon belongs. Okay, 90 costers. Let's see. I actually think I have Promptu slightly overrated. I'm gonna drop him down to 80. Let's see. Who else do I have up here that I don't know belongs? The rest of it looks good. I don't know a ton about Farm yet, like I was saying, but I'll keep her there for now. The 80 and 70 cost, this I think is like the bulk of your units. I think 80 is probably like what a UR unit should be if everything in the world was balanced. And so I think these units belong there. I think these 70 costers are weaker than their counterparts. And then a lot of these units right here are really hype. Waiting on that EX job, guys. So there you go. There it is. Tell me if you think I'm crazy. Remember, again, I'm not saying right here that Cloud is better than Elena. I'm just saying that if I was giving them a cost, it would be 110. Same with all the rest of these tiers. That's what I'm saying. All right, guys, that's it. Thank you for watching. Let me know if you agree. Let me know if you disagree. And I'll catch you next time. Peace.